You will see system latency reported each time you click the mouse. Check out the latest additions to the Reflex-compatible family and stride confidently into battle.
Hello there, my name is Jaeger. I'm a professional FPS shoutcaster and on occasion, I'm a streamer as well. I've been casting since 2016 and when Riot announced Valorant would be coming out, I knew this was the chance for Asian players and Asian talents alike. As a shoutcaster, I believe seeing your best pro players play at the very pinnacle of their ability is what makes it most exciting. That doesn't mean just skill-wise, but technical dominance too. When pro players are showing us their skills, we're not actually getting there 100% because of something called system latency. System latency is the delay in between what you do with your mouse, your monitor, and your keyboard and what happens in the game. This means you may be reacting in real life and clicking as soon as a juicy headshot presents itself, only to get shut down and not know it was because of system latency. That's where NVIDIA Reflex comes in. NVIDIA Reflex reduces system latency, meaning that your reactions will actually reflect in the game. You'll be shooting faster, reacting faster to information, and the entire experience just feels that much more responsive. You'll feel all the excuses you used to have no longer exist, and Valorant just feels so much better to play. To turn it on, simply go to your video settings, look at NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, and click On or On Boost. This doesn't just apply to the pro players as well, but it applies to you at home as well, and of course, me. I'm no professional, but playing the game and learning how to play at higher levels I believe will make me a better shoutcaster. And I think with NVIDIA Reflex, I'll be taking in more information and applying it faster too. With NVIDIA Reflex on, I could feel my counter trades were perfect, my headshots felt faster and more natural, I was never dying thinking I had ducked into cover already, it all felt as close to real time as it gets. At the end of the day, frames win games, and what better way to match those frames than with a low system latency to accompany it.
Welcome back, guys. You're watching the GeForce iCafe Attack. This is the grand finals. Unfortunately, yesterday we were unable to showcase this best of 3 because it was cut off, unfortunately. But today we'll be showcasing it nonetheless. We have Astroluna Esports going up against Crackerjack, the third time in this tournament. And what a way to conclude the series with a, well, best of 3 today. My name is David casting here today with the Chrono Sync. Kumusta ka naman, Chrono, in this rainy afternoon?
I am cool, I am fun, I'm excited. I have seen Crackerjack play a couple of weeks ago, maybe like around 2 weeks ago. And I have never been more excited to watch a team play again.
Yeah.
Well, maybe for PRX, but that's international. I have seen these guys play. They are very excited. And I do have a friend, I think in the ALE side, so that should be exciting as well. But right now, I am pretty excited. I'm pretty stoked for this lineup. Again, you have mentioned that they have played each other around thrice already this tournament. So this might be some sort of a leveling thing. We will be better than you this time type of thing. So I just really want to see how this will pan out.
Yeah, and the thing to note about the series is that for those 2 times that they faced off against each other, Crackerjack took the cake against Astroluna Esports very decisively, so I would say. So this is kind of like the revenge match for Astroluna Esports. It's kind of like their villain arc, so to speak, and I can't wait to see how it's going to conclude. Of course, what's on the line here is our prize pool totaling up to 22,500, if I remember correctly. The grand prize being 15,000, and the runner-up is 7,500. So guys, both of these teams are already winners in their own rights, competing not just for the grand prize, of course, but for that sort of bragging rights, right? It's also the fact that, you know, they've faced off so many times against each other, and ascending to that next level sort of makes a difference between these two teams. And can't wait to see how it's going to start out. Of course, both of these teams have a lot of experience. Astroluna Esports, they've been around for some time. They've had a lot of success in the past half a year or so. But Crackerjack, man, recently they won a couple of tournaments, Elite 8 being one of those just last month, and they're looking pretty good going into this one as well.
Well, yeah, again, I have seen them play. They are pretty much well versed with maps. They have prepared, so to say. We will get. This isn't a question, but we will get exciting matches, exciting maps, exciting strats from Crackerjack, and that is a given. we will be heading into the map Betos as we take out Bind and Breeze, and we get Pearl and Ascent for the first two maps, and we get Haven as the decider.
Yeah. Pearl.
What do you think?
Interesting start.
I've seen them play. I think they banned Fracture as well as banned Fracture just because of how the sheer amount of skill and team play that Crackerjack has been showing us in this map. But I have yet to see them in the 3 that's been picked, so this should be exciting.
Yeah, exactly. The first and the starter, of course, is Pearl. Of all maps, this is gonna be very, very interesting. A fresh map. This is not really something we see a lot of. I believe yesterday we didn't even see a single Pearl. So starting off today with Crackerjack selecting Pearl is a pleasant surprise here. Going into Ascent though, Astro Luna is a classic for them. They love playing this map, absolutely have it figured out. And in Haven, I feel like it is a very, very fitting end to our best of 3. However, I would like to point out though that this is a best of 3, right? I believe in the past stages, all of the games are best of 1s, so this sort of permits both teams a little bit more of an adjustment towards each other's playstyle. And starting off with Pearl, I'm a little bit worried for Astro Luna Esports because they let Pearl sort of slip through the cracks. Because Crackerjack picking that means that they are ready for it. They've got some stuff planned out. You mentioned the team earlier, Paper Rex. They are a world-class team for a reason, and that's because they're pioneers. They pioneered a lot of strategies here in this map in particular. Right. And Crackerjack can't wait to see if they have adapted some of those strategies or have they come up with any of their own. What do you think about compositions though in Pearl? Because Raze is sort of becoming a standard, but recently we've seen a trend of a shift towards non-duelists, particularly in Champions. So many teams going for that composition in maps where you typically do not expect it. You can see Phoenixes left and right, even in huge maps like Breeze. So in Pearl, what do you think we should be expecting to see?
Honestly, I kind of don't know what to expect right now because I'm pretty sure we're playing the new remodeled Pearl. The new version of Pearl.
That's true.
So there might be some changes to how teams will play, but pretty much I think still holds the same truth. Pearl has very short, very sweet angles, which permits really quick rotations. Well, specifically if you're playing mid, if you let go of mid if you let go of mid in a bad way, they can get to either sides without you even knowing as a defender. So we really have to, I think, see some sort of a lot more information agency. You did mention that people that pro teams have been straying away from more duelists. Maybe more so now because the box that the famous Jing ult was made is now gone. So we might not see any of that, but that still probably remain the same. Hit one site, maybe check if there's anyone there, see if the rotates are available or if the other lanes are free for taking, and just take what site's nearer. I mean, I think that's how people have been playing this map, though there has not been a set meta yet. We have not seen people settle into Pearl as much as people have settled to Fracture. For example, in Fracture, Neon has been a staple. Some agents have been a staple. Some initiators with good flashes have been a staple. So a set meta has yet to be seen, even in the higher echelons of play for Pearl. So given the new changes, we might get some interesting combinations from Crackerjack, knowing that they do like playing the team game. They like playing their team game really well. They like setting up their main duelists for fights that are very, very unfair. So hopefully we do get a lot of rats for people watching who do play Valorant. Hopefully we get to see some things that we steal. You know, we see something we like, hey, I'm gonna steal that, and hopefully we get that.
Yeah, I do hope so as well. Of course, Crackerjack looking very, very confident in this map. Can't wait to see if they're gonna pull out the no duelist comp or if they're gonna go double down on it. But here we go. Nonetheless, we're starting with the game. Hero is on the screen now, folks, and well, Crackerjack, they will be starting off on the attacking side, Astro Luna on the defense. And speaking of Pearl, you did mention that one of the essentials here is the information game, right? Fade is slowly becoming or rather slowly getting so much priority here in Pearl. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see both teams go for that. The Rays, as you mentioned, has been opted a lot for here in Pearl. But some teams generally stray away from a Rays because I feel like Pearl is a very, very versatile map depending on how you approach that. One of the approaches being towards that mid control side, one rather because that mid control is just a headache to deal with when you're a defender, right? It's
That's
so
true.
hard to defend these angles, and it's not necessarily easy to challenge them, but it's just so hard to defend from both angles, from the double door side and from the art side. So in a bit we're about to see what composition both teams are arriving with, but spoiler alert, I can see what they're picking, and there's a Phoenix on the board here. Thoughts on the Phoenix?
I like
Carlo?
that pick. Honestly, I was gonna say hopefully I do get to see a Phoenix because slowly but surely we're getting to see a rise of Phoenix picks just because of the
True.
buffed flashes, especially in short angled maps like Pearl. A very good example of one. Phoenix flashes are godsend. Just being able to swing out, being able to swing out with that Phoenix flash is great. As
Look at my beauty.
Silvano does pick just picks that Phoenix as Ice Cold gets the fade chamber, sang on chamber, file on the controller. We have double controllers actually.
True.
That's very interesting. And Crackerjack with Tainted Sorrow on Neon. I am now excited. I am hooked now to see Tainted Sorrow back on that Neon as Dritch gets the Sage near the end, gets the controller roll again on Viper. Ike here gets Fade and Aeonix on that Classic Chamber.
Yeah, really excited to see Tainted Sorrow on that Neon in particular, especially with his performance yesterday against the likes of Zol Ragnar and Fulcrum Catalyst. Tainted Sorrow was just absolutely amazing yesterday. So putting him on the Neon is a bit of a different take. Typically, we see him on something like a Jet, or perhaps something that is a little bit more towards that
Look at my-
aggressive dueling side. But Neon is a fresh look for him. I absolutely would be. I am so thrilled to see him. On the flip side of things, as I mentioned, Silvano is on the Phoenix. Now, I am not really the biggest fan of the Phoenix just because of the fact that a KO is available, right? So I feel like KO and Phoenix accomplish very similar things, but
Very
KO
similar things,
is a
that's
little
true.
bit more offers a little bit more in the table. But here we go, nonetheless, starting off with a quick entrance here. Tainted Sorrow falling down a little bit early though, as Fail picks him up down in mid, and the mid reinforcement here looking so good. Another frag happening on the flip side of things in B side, but still a lot of mid priority here. Hike here gets one before getting out of dodge in the area. Seemingly we'll be able to survive. So 4v3 now, but Silvano, oh, perfect timing. Now getting that kill against his enemy, looking pretty good now. But look at this rotation from Crackerjack though, slowly making their way up into A side with barely any utility usage, but Aeonix barely gets the timing off against Ice Cold. There's a plant now happening in B. I mean A side, sorry.
I was kind of wondering how they're gonna set up Tainted Sorrow for a pick there. I think they opted to go for the fade utility, to as near to end gets Fael. We get into a 3v1 situation. Should be able to get at least one maybe, but they are holding this on a crossfire. Both sides will be lucky to get a clutch.
Wow.
Gets one near to end, goes down. He's one person, but inevitably goes down to Aeonix. That was a great round. Good reads, good rotates from Crackerjack. Though, interestingly, I really was wondering how they were going to set up Tainted Sorrow for that.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, they are good at setting up their duelist, right? So
There.
it's the Fade Neon combo I see.
Exactly. A bit of a slow start there for Crackerjack, taking the Sorrow going down, but as mentioned, great trade backs, great rotation in general, in particular for Crackerjack. Because again, it's the mid priority here, 3 members to reinforce that art area as Tainted Sorrow's going in with those concusses. Haven't taken anyone as of yet, but Sang manages to find a position behind them. It picks up 2, and suddenly he's turning this round around. 2 guns making their way into their hands, and suddenly they're making it flawless. It seems like near to end will be good for one for now. Dritch picks up a piece, but he's the last one standing now with just a ghost to his avail, and Shorty hopping up and about in front of him. What can he do? Nothing, it seems like. Silvano for the Shorty kill. The 50 round is done and dusted for Astraluna.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. That's good map awareness from Sang there, just to recognize that 2 people pushed up art, and maybe, just maybe, I could timing them so hard and right click them with classing and get 2 free guns, which is exactly what happened. I don't know if it's should you hear that? You think you should hear that? But still great timing from Sang. Great job that definitely turned the round around, as you mentioned. And we will be getting some mid action again as the round starts.
A great adaptation from Astraluna there, particularly Sang, recognizing immediately the amount of mid priority that Crackerjack puts up. Speaking of Sang, again opens up things in B side this time. Oh, Silvano could have been in trouble there if he didn't call for the wall to be put up.
Pretty sure the hand was seen a bit as File takes down the Onyx.
True. There you go. Flash comes out because of the trademark being triggered. And loving the cautiousness here from Astraluna Esports. Not becoming too careless. But Silvano peeks out, picks up 1. Nice trade right there for Solrak, making sure that nobody retrieves those guns. And very little damage done so far by Crackerjack, but Astraluna Esports looking so good on this defense. Not really deciding to risk anything, which is a good thing. There you go. Dritch finds 1 more, but that's it. 2 kills on the board for Crackerjack, but Astraluna with the team ace, making it look very, very clean. And what I like in particular about that round is Astraluna, I feel like that showcases what their composition shines on. I feel like this composition really is very good on the defense. On the attack, it's a little bit more challenging, but on the defense, that's how they should approach these maps, in my opinion. Just play a little bit more on the reserved side towards towards the utility that they have, and should be a breezy defense here.
You think it was by design to cater to the lineup to defense? You think?
Yeah, a little bit.
There are 2 controllers.
Welcome to my world.
They are holding really well. Being able to hold Crackerjack down is a good feat from Astraluna.
Oh, big recovery there. But unfortunately unable to find more.
Watch out. Go, go, go.
Looking to make a little bit more noise here in A side as the res is actually there. Aeonix going back into the game. Solrak receiving end of things as finally gets walled off. And Prowler as well.
Spike planted.
By the way, Dritch gets the plants off. Gets 1 before tucking back into cover. Nice little shot there against Ice Cold. The operator from Sang has yet to find anything, but actually, are they going to attempt this retake? Sang's already fallen down. Solrak still in a bit of trouble. Still a lot of fight left. 39 HP. Now getting closed up on from both angles. I don't think it's so much noise. Solrak still alive and kicking. 2v3 now. I'm slowly taking away, but Hike here from behind might just signal the doom here for Solrak, who finally goes down and near to end the lights for Silvano's dreams. There you go, 2-2. Crackerjack equalize.
That was a well-engineered fake. You know how you always see Chamber? I think this is what happened, right? Tell me if I'm wrong here. You always see a Chamber on the lurk. They kind of baited sound on B side with the neon, just a couple of sounds, a couple of utility, and the lurker, quote unquote lurker, going down in A might signify them, oh, it might be a B hit, and then they go in with the res and take A. What a nice engineered fake there. That's just game sense, game awareness altogether.
And I feel like it's the mind games, right? Between these two teams. The difference maker here. Oh, Silvano. His teammate TP's away, but doesn't have the same luxury. Oh no! He gets body blocked by Sang. Unfortunate circumstance right there. Sang going down as well, so that's gonna be the sight! So wreck! Oh, it's a flawless done here for Crackerjack. And again, the way they approach these attacks is just so methodic. And it started with
And confusing.
exactly. It started with a bit of a mishap there. Silvano awkwardly revealing himself a little bit too early and then unable to survive. But end of things, Crackerjack making it very clean.
And confusing. Let me stress the confusing part here. Because they do switch it up quite a lot, even though you think that they're always going to be pushing. They just switched it up and played default that
Exactly.
round.
Exactly.
Well placed, good pacing. That is the term I'm looking for.
Oh. Luna though.
You know the song? Dunun, dunun, dunun. It's literally that.
Exactly. Oh, but one gun is gonna be enough. Near to end. Trading it out, but Solrak spots the spike. Uh-oh. This might be trouble for Crackerjack. Don't have the wall up anymore. And Dritch picks up one. There goes the orb. Trying to deny them off the spike control, but Ice Cold. Okay, they won't be able to find the round. Oh, it's close. Almost
attempt.
the round turner there from Crackerjack.
Good attempt, good attempt.
Yeah.
It was the chamber trip. That is always the bane of any lurker's existence. That was the fault. That was at fault for ALE losing that well executed flank. It was a good read on them to try and do something while on eco. It almost worked. If it wasn't for those meddling tripwires, you know, it's always sad to see a good lurk come to an end just because of a single 200 credit trip.
Oh.
As File takes updated sorrow on that ambitious push onto mid, getting double peaked as Sang does get near to end, and will make that
You will not
5v
kill my ally.
5v4. 5v4, if I'm corrected.
Yeah. Man finally makes noise with the op. Another shot, but this time not going in. Nightfall comes out. Wall. All the utility getting thrown out here into B site, but Spike still not down. Sang good for one more, and Fails made himself aware of the presence of everyone. Here goes Sang with the 3K. And that's between just Sang and Fail holding the line in B side. 3 kills apiece. And now both of them have their ults up. Raid. Well, just the hold from Sang and Fail just absolutely perfect there. Astra Luna back on the board. And I feel like Sang's operator is a massive difference maker here.
There.
If it makes a mark,
That's true.
it's huge. If it misses, well, Astra Luna sort of
There.
kind of fumbles. But
Go, go.
You want
silver lining here is just
play.
their eco is looking pretty good.
Gotta go. Bring them down.
Tainted Sorrow does go down to Fael. That is one glaring issue with having a
Exactly.
NOS boosted Neon running through art. There's no trade possible as Silvano does take Dritch. Ike here does get the trades and will Mamba out? No, will not Mamba out. Will Mamba out? Will Mamba out as Ike here will try luck again on mid. These guys are also confusing the casters. As Aeonix tries to get a fix on A. It is still a 3v3 situation. We do see near to end and Aeonix try to work their way into A with the Viper Orb, keeping them at bay in the meantime.
Yeah, and look at the mid presence being put up here by Astra Luna. This is solely because of the presence of Hike here. He pushed up Art,
30 seconds
dealt a little
left.
bit of damage, and then destroyed the trademark. So that really leaves the A-side defense thin for this A-side sake. Solrak, well, without any help, just gonna go down. High here, a massive round, even making it bigger with a 4K. Again, I have to stress that out. High here with an opening pick down in mid, and then decides to chase down. I believe that was Ice Cold running down towards Arts for the retreat,
Need a drop.
and then triple dipped, destroyed the trademark, forced Astraluna to stay in that mid side, leaving both their sides a little bit light on the defense. And again, so good on the attack at Crackerjack, showcasing just why they picked this map.
And also a good, again, they have done this before, but it's a good clinic, technical clinic on how to deal with the chamber.
Shocking.
Yeah.
You deny that information with just breaking that trip. A tripper doesn't have to be your enemy. It can be a helpful hand to you, as Tainted Sorrow does get sang on the opening pick 2B. But is it a fake? Is it a fake?
It is. Wow. The Onyx is the one opening sight in the other side of the map here. Ooh, still wins the duel against Solrak, and Tainted Sorrow good for one more. The Neon Nos. You said it. Can't trade it. Leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cold will be finally shutting down that Neon, but at this point, damage is already done. High gear, good for one more. And near to end, sorry, to close out the round. 6-3 in favor of Crackerjack. Each and every round here is a showcase, Chrono, and I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm. It really is a clinic. I have said this in a couple of games there before, but if you want to learn things about Valorant and you want to learn how to play this game properly, watch Crackerjack. They are technically aware. They know that they're good, and they are taking advantage of
They're good.
this game to the fullest, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
They're playing really well. They're playing the agents to the fullest of potentials. So albeit some trades like
Bring them down.
possibly Tainted Sorrow in a couple of seconds will happen.
Oh
But
my
does
god.
know they're on eco. Tainted Sorrow does get Ice Cold on the ult. Will look at Ditch and get File. That is sight open for...
Flawless.
Well, no, not sight open. Sight open, but round one
Round done.
for Crackerjack. If that fast, just as fast as Neon, that Neon pushes, the round is also over. Great recognition that ALE, Astraluna Esports, is on eco.
And this consistency from Tainted Sorrows to always go in, always push the tempo, is sort of conditioning the mindset of Astraluna that this is what Tainted Sorrow constantly wants to do, and his teammates are certainly going to back him up every single time, right? I feel like eventually Crackerjack are going to pull the trigger like they did a couple of rounds ago, where they left Tainted Sorrows to push alone in these sites. And that sort of conditioning could just be the kryptonite here for Astraluna. The Onyx CP not available, but finding a little bit of damage. Ice Cold goes down, nearly getting traded out though. Two members pushing down in B. Couple still in the attacker side spawn. Luna again kept guessing where the attack is going to be. Who is the carrier of the spike, and near to end. Manages to find the crack, slips into those. But Sang will be shutting him down. Here comes the wall, 2v2 now. Suddenly a dual position from Asaluna despite a great start from Cracker. What was that shot?
Planted.
1v2, Chrono.
We should, if a Phoenix will be effective, we should see it now. Maybe a tap, maybe a flash,
No, oh my god. Going up. It's so
maybe
hard.
something with maybe 70 HP after this heal comes.
It comes out. It does spot out one, but that's it. Silvano goes down. And a great recovery
Last
there
round
from
before the
Crackerjack. A bit of a shaky mid-round, but 2v2 at the
You
end.
did mention it though that they keep Astraluna guessing.
Exactly.
I think that's one, the conditioning of okay, the Neon pushes, okay, Aeonix flanks, okay, they don't immediately rush. This sort of conditioning is just pushing them back in places where where Crackerjack can easily get picks. That was why Tainted Sora was able to get the pick on the enemy Viper.
Poison's off.
Was because of that. Because they were pretty far back as Ice Cold and Silvano get a pick each. But Dritch gets the ult and File goes down. And this will be a battle for mid as A is ulted. Viper's ult. But Onyx does get it! Oh! Get it to go down. This should be site open. This should be A open for Crackerjack. And it will be a 3v3 situation. Force that again. Without any flanks.
Okay, Spano again, this time with a massive task at hand, but with two teammates behind him near to end. That's down Ice Cold. They don't have any smokes, which making it hard for them to get into sight. That just leaves Sang with a desperate play. Unfortunately, that's all it is. Nothing translated. And Astral Luna, struggling to find their footing on the first half. Now though, we're going into the attack for Astral Luna, and I feel like here, sure they have a fresh start. Pistols can go either way, but you gotta wonder at this point just what the mental is like for this team, right? Because they started off amazingly. Don't get me wrong, the pistol went in the way of Crackerjack, but they won they won round number 2 and 3. But after that, it was just a Crackerjack show.
Yeah, as we head into a familiar scoreline, it's kind of have to ask the question: will this composition be able to even push the way they want to? I guess they have something planned, but having 2 controllers on Pearl doesn't really exactly give you the utility you want to take a fight. So we'll see how they want to push this, as Tainted Sorrow does get the first pick on Silvano. Dritch gets Sang, Ice Cold gets a trade. Dritch gets Ice Cold, and that is spiked down on Art. And that will be a flank given to us by Solrak. Though Haikir is aware, should be aware, is aware, and will get Solrak on the flank, and that is a 1v4 situation. Care of Crackerjack. What a way to hold. What a way to triple down on Art, knowing that, hey, I hear quite a lot of people trying to push up mid. Let's triple down on this. And if they want to go the other route, we can just give it and we can play retake. As Fael does get high here, 1v3, we wonder what 53 HP and a star could do.
Careful.
We can't count them out, as these are the higher tiers of play. We might see the most unexpected thing ever.
Yeah. 1v3. Miracles do happen, Chrono, but can Fail pull one off? No, he won't. 10-3 is the score, and Crackerjack again win the pistol for themselves. And you mentioned it yourself, the read from Cracker. Triple stacking down in Art. They knew that the mid priority was going to be there from Astral Luna Esports, and it absolutely was. They tried pushing down mid as quickly as they could, but Cracker was just all they're ready for it. Timeout is a little bit early on the second half here, but at this point, it's like anything they can.
Warranted, yeah.
Yeah, it's like anything they can try and slow down Crackerjack. Who, by the way, everyone's been performing. I mean, Titan Zoro is at the bottom of the board only because he's the one that's been conditioning Astral Luna.
Yeah. But it's not as I think everyone is made aware of at the moment, already at this point in time in Valorant's life. Frags do not equal impact.
That's true.
Right? So in a team game like this, when you can give so much more impact than just frags, it really doesn't give much when you're doing your job. The psychological impact that the Tainted Sorrow just gave by being an incessantly annoying neon on the next of ALE,
just by existing,
right? Exactly. It's a very big impact that you can't measure by credits or frags. So, exactly. And also I think the fast-paced play that ALE wants to do isn't supported by the agent comp. There is no dasher. There is no fast-paced agent on this agent roster. So having someone spotted by a Fade utility.
Soros going in for the concuss. He does get prowlered out. Utility is there. Take care of one member, but everyone else is there. Tainted Sorrow is good for another. Sliding in, doesn't care about the slow orb at all. Brings up the classic, but will go down. That's one gun taken care of, but 4 members unknown, unaccounted for. They don't know where everyone's gonna come from. At least Ice Cold will be permitted off the plant, but Rich picks up his teammate.
Planted.
Now it's a 1v4. There's no way Ice Cold's gonna be able to clean this up, and Dritch make sure it doesn't happen. 11-3 now, as Cracker Jack look to secure Pearl here. 1 away from match points, and
The
can
team play.
round 3?
No.
No.
The team play. You see the neon. We in our POV as caster's POV, we just saw the neon just push with no regard, and we thought that was a sure deal that Tainted Sorrow was definitely gonna go down to 4 people, but no, that's
But
not
nope.
what happened. There were 2 more people who pushed up A just to support it. That's team play
Crazy.
right there. That's the comms are like, hey, I spotted 4 people. Y'all better get here right now. And it converted the round. That's I don't know. It makes me emotional to see such team play, right?
I know, it's
It's
beautiful.
not just solo skills at all. It's everyone playing in sync, being in perfect synergy with each other. Just been playing for a while. They're able to do that.
Finally, Luna bring out the tempo that we expected them to play at. And there you have it. Sang with a good opening pick. Taurus, though, he wants to peeks this, and he does. Just like that, it gets traded out to a 4v4, and Astro Luna back to where they started. And look at just how much respect Cracker Jack still has here in this matchup. Not becoming overzealous, not being too aggressive. That's what I love about this team. They know when to pull the trigger.
Right? It shows they respect the mid push. Maybe they have information on A, that's why they're leaving it. But I think they have a read on B. But they do respect the space that the ALE can be.
30 seconds left.
So they really know how to play this game.
Yeah,
I can tell you that much.
exactly. Now with usually getting pumped down in B side, they know for sure that Sai's gonna push that. And so we're gonna be welcoming him with open arms. More sense of security here, now getting to confirm their suspicions that someone
10
still
seconds left.
is here in halls.
Spike planted.
But they will get the plant off and take care of one of those defenders. High here from behind! Nice gold. A tall order at hand. Peeks out at the perfect timing. Okay, doesn't bite the bait. And Dredge still plays it perfectly! Cracker Jack, third round in the second half secured. That's match point.
Converts the bonus.
Actually,
Well, I don't know what to say. They
how do you
apart from the fact that they're just playing this map with like years of experience, it's like they also have the aim to accompany it. They are hitting the shots that you may think that they're not supposed to hit, but now we have aim labs or Kovacs, we use it, and you just see they just hit the shots that they're supposed to. So apart from just the sheer strategic mastery that they have, they can also just spot stomp their way through, get frags. Like, I know. We really want the championship full prize of 15k as Ice Cold does get the first 2 picks, and the Toro and Hiker goes down. Solarak does get the Dritch, making it a 5v2 situation near to end on the flank. Should be able to get at least 1 or 2 with Trigger Discipline. But I think it's a good adjustment made. A well-made adjustment. There you go. A well-made adjustment from Astro Luna. Just meeting Cracker Jack on that aggression. I really do wonder about the agent comps though. Like I think they're trying to play that high-paced gameplay, especially with that neon. I think you really have to have an agent that can close gaps to be able to utilize utilize fade utility.
30
30 seconds
No,
left.
no.
One enemy
I think
remaining.
that's very lacking. As Sang does get Aeonics,
Spike planted.
That goes in.
and it will be a 1v5 from near to end.
Yeah, should be the round here for Astro Luna. Each end picks up one just for a little bit of damage, but there you have it. Silvano for the trade. And I like the idea here for Astro Luna. You did mention that their composition lacks that sort of explosive duelist, right? The one that kind of reminiscent of a Raze or a Jets that just goes in, guns blazing. Which
Just
actually
to close that gap, right?
Yeah,
Like open
yeah.
space.
Yeah, which actually makes it so that Crackerjack is not expecting that type of playstyle, but when Astroluna pulls it out, it's still sort of a 50-50. So even with the mind games at the works here for Astroluna, it's still a very, very hard task to secure these attacking rounds. But here we have it, Silvano unable to secure the second kill, but his teammate's going to be there to back him up. Haikier picks up that one upgrade, and again, look at the positions from Crackerjack. Where
Double
are
wall.
they coming from?
Spike planted.
all
Definitely doesn't
coming in
want
from the
anyone going
flank.
through Link now.
Yeah.
Obscuring vision.
4v3,
Face
and
your
they're still
fear.
keeping up with the pace here. Nightfall comes out from both of these phase, both very effective. Here comes the ult from Silvano, looking to end things now, taking matters into his own hands. Blanche comes out.
Remaining.
And there goes Ionix going down. And Haikier, the last man standing, Crackerjack. He pushed a round further back, but it is the eco round for them after all. Barely any investment apart from Haikier's gun, I believe. And they're pretty happy with this round, with the turnout. Two people going down means there's a fair bit of damage done to Astroluna's side, but this could be the round here, Chrono. It's basically an equal round here for both sides, but the key thing to take away from that last round is that Ice Cold and Silvano both used their ults just to secure it. So it was a fairly expensive round against an eco from Crackerjack. And this time, they're putting Ionix back on the op.
That's true. That was, I don't know, maybe not ult. Maybe they really did. Okay, to be fair, if it is a 4-12, you kind of just want to secure the round. So I'm not questioning the usage of the ult there, but looking into the future round, I think maybe that Phoenix ult could have came in handy, right? Maybe the Fade ult was enough just to get that information, but a Phoenix ult to just secure an eco round maybe wasn't the play, as they still do have to open up sites without that explosive duelist, as we've talked about.
Oh. Bell of the ops.
Saw a bit of a hand there. Wasn't able to completely get the kill.
Welcome to my
There goes the
world.
Viper Spit. Into a site. Could be a bait though. State and Sorrow picks up Silvano. Immediately calls for the rotation here for Crackerjack. This might not be the best of ideas, which is why they're slowly drifting away from the A site. And
You are divided.
Prospect Divide into B, the mind game. At full work here for Astroluna. And they seem to have bought the bait,
30
Crackerjack.
seconds left.
Everyone's running into B site. And the plant is here. Gonna have to go for a full-on retake, but Astroluna, despite one member going down, still a 4-man strong team, should be doable here on the defense, especially considering Crackerjack don't have any of their ults to boot. Operate in the hands of Ionix as well, and Sang watching behind every single angle over here. Chrono, as the side take about to commence. Tainted Sorrow leading the charge. Might give them a false sense of security because this Viper's bit, but Tainted Sorrow is found Ice Cold. They have to weed out the Viper, but the time is slowly ticking away. Trade still coming in, and they get all the frags that they need. There you Pearl is done and dusted despite the huge odds. Crackerjack still win the round and the game.
Defenders win.
What? What?
I know.
Excuse me?
Crazy.
What? Oh. What?
Oh,
Actually, what? Viper, the post plant.
They even had the op.
Ah!
I don't know.
Okay, man, props to Cracker Jack. Dude! Like, I am paid to be able to say something, right? You have to understand that, right? Everyone in the stream right now has to understand that we are being paid to say something. But what are you...
What is there to say? I know.
Wow! Cracker Jack just showing us who's boss with that retake. Just guns blazing. I don't care if there's a Viper pit. I am gonna swing, and we are going to click your head. That's basically what happened. Retake
Exactly.
done, plant gets defused, and that's a 12, 13 takes, 35 game from Cracker Jack taking the first round on Pearl. Wow. Okay. Wow. What are your thoughts on that final round and the game in general, obviously?
I mean, I feel like there's no other way to put it apart from how you described it, right? They don't care about the Viper spit, they're gonna swing in and click on heads. That's exactly what they did. I feel like a lot of those duels as well were very, very much dry. Mutated Sorrow, we saw that opening pick. Ice Cold wasn't ready for it because who would do that? Only a Maniac would do that. Only Cracker Jack would do that. Certainly team to be terrified of. And I feel like the whole game, the whole map in general, just showcased a prep diff, so to speak, between these two teams. And Cracker Jack just knows their way around Pearl. Didn't necessarily have to go for a change of strats each and every round, but they did, just because they could. And the scoreboard reflects just how much prep they put into that map in particular, 13-5. And one thing that I feel like is showcased there more than how much they know Pearl is that they have a lot of flexibility to put Tainted Sorrows, or their whole team in general, in different roles, right? Tainted Sorrow, yesterday we saw him in a more of a fragger sense, the Jets and the Operator's kind of role. This time we saw him on the Neon, which is a different look, not just for himself, but for the entire team. Had sort of a unified approach into Pearl, right? Can't wait to see how things are going to be different in our next map, which I believe is going to be Ascent, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it's Ascent. Yeah. It's Ascent.
Yeah, but until then, this is GeForce iCafe Attack. Datum here casting with Chrono. We'll be right back with game number 2 in the grand finals, so don't go anywhere.
Bad move.
One enemy remaining.
That's three. You had it. Almost a bike planted.
PC performance for competitive gaming is about responsiveness. How quickly your display updates after a mouse click or a key press. This is called system latency. Until recently, system latency has been very difficult to measure, requiring complicated setups with expensive high-speed cameras. With NVIDIA Reflex Analyzer, you can easily measure your full system's responsiveness, giving you the ability to optimize settings and confirm PC performance. Using the analyzer is easy. Simply plug a Reflex mouse into the designated USB port on your Reflex monitor, install GeForce Experience, and hit Alt-R. While playing a Reflex-enabled game, you will see system latency reported each time you click the mouse. Check out the latest additions to the Reflex-compatible family and stride confidently into battle.
Welcome back to iCafe Attack, GeForce iCafe Attack. This is the Valorant tournament. This is the best of 3 actually of ALE and Crackerjack. We just saw the first game. It's now 1-0, and we are going to be heading into Ascent, the second game. But right now, still quite stunned. Actually,
Yeah.
We took the break, and we're still pretty stunned on how that Pearl last round went. As we are going into Ascent. And sorry, but I didn't get to ask. You asked me how I was in this rainy Saturday afternoon. How are you this rainy Saturday afternoon?
Thanks. I'm fine. I'm amazing. I love this weather actually, but to everyone who is currently experiencing the storm, guys, please stay safe. Don't go out.
Stay safe.
Just stay safe and stay safe. That's all I have
I'm
to
sure
say.
there are. Please do charge your phones. This is pretty serious thing, guys. Like all jokes aside, a lot of places are experiencing signal number 4s and really heavy rainfall. So charge your phones. No emergency hotlines, emergency hashtags, emergency everything that you can. Take note of that. Have it on your phones all the time. And just be safe as we, as a country, are facing quite a big typhoon. So please do stay safe. And we do have another. Sorry to make. I don't know if I should make this joke, but we're getting another typhoon in the form of Crackerjack in the next game in Ascent.
True.
For the prize pool. Again, this tournament has a total of 1,500 pesos of the prize pool,
Yes.
with 15k going to the champion, with the runner-up taking 7.5. As they mentioned before, both teams in their own rights are already winners. They will be getting a sure 7.5 from this tournament. So congratulations, guys. Spend it wisely. Use it for emergency, maybe use it for emergency food and anything that you might need for this very, very scary weather that we're about to be, or that we are having.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think we should also, we're forgetting to also thank the sponsors that we have. Thank you to Asus ROG, Nvidia, and PCWorks for sponsoring this tournament. Thank you guys so much. And we should be heading into Ascent shortly. If what do you think, based from the last game, would Ascent go?
Well, based on the last game, I feel like, just slowly based on the last game, I feel like Cracker Jack is hot on their heels. I feel like they are going to be able to continue and propel that momentum towards this game. But you have to remember, Chrono, that this is a map that Astra Luna loves. This is a map that they themselves picked. And this is a map that is very, very similar, I feel like, to Ascent, rather to Pearl, in a sense that tempo plays a huge factor.
That's
We saw that come into play time and time again in the attacking side, in particular for Cracker Jack. Whenever they set the tempo up for themselves, and if they follow it up with the traction of their team, it finds so much success. In a sense, I feel like that's a very, very similar story. If you let the enemy play at their tempo, you're not going to be finding a lot of success. However, if you force them to play at yours, that's when you sort of shine. And a lot of that boils down to the composition. And that was one of the key defining, or rather, differentiating factors from the last game as well. The Neon was absolutely amazing, not because of the Neon in particular, but because of how Cracker Jack played around the comp. But I feel like a slow-paced kind of comp, such as the one that Astra Luna used in that last map, could find a little bit more success here. But just because of the amount of knowledge, I guess, that is available to Ascent, it is a classic map. It's everyone's favorite here in Southeast Asia, and I feel like Astra Luna picked it for a reason. They have a lot in the bag in this map.
I see. I think, yeah, I see that low-paced roster being able to work in Astra Luna's advantage, but it also kind of piqued my interest that you said it's a paced heavy map, which is true. Now I do realize that if you Ascent is a hard map to attack split-wise. You can't really do a split attack on a site that easily. You're going to have, if you want to do that, you're going to have mid control, really heavy mid control, and it's hard because defenders have 2, 3 ways, 4 ways actually of catching you out. If they push out B main, if they push out short, if they push out anywhere, actually they can catch your mid. They can catch your mid control off guard if you don't play it right. So having a split attack is kind of hard. So you really have to lay your pace here in a sense that if you try to play quote unquote cowardly, that's not exactly what I want to say, but you know how in Valorant terms, if you play like pretty slow, you wait for pushes and you just play to your opponent's play style, to your opponent's pacing, it kind of works to your disadvantage. You're right. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So hopefully, we get to see clashes of control here from these two teams. I know we will set the pace. No, we will set the pace. I think that's how it's supposed to be in a sense, and hopefully we get that in a while, as I think the games should be starting. But apart from how they performed previously in Pearl, what do you think? Actually, because this is a pretty ongoing debate that's been going on for a while. What's a good roster for Ascent?
I feel like there's the answer to that question is not a linear one. I feel like there's an not an infinite number, but there's a lot of possible rosters here in Ascent. I feel like because of the properties that you mentioned earlier about this map, right? You've got to have a unified approach. It's not really the easiest maps to split, and it's, well, on the attack you have a little less options compared to because we just witnessed Pearl compared to Pearl, just because of the difference in the way the map is made, right? For example, key contrast between Pearl and Ascent is that mid side, right? It was used so much by both Cracker Jack and Astra Luna in that last game to sort of split the attention of their opponents, right? In Ascent, on the attacking side, you can't necessarily do that as effectively. While you can, if you attack mid, there's very few options where you're gonna go without really revealing information, right? However, in Pearl, you have to, rather you have the liberty of going either for A site or B site if you're already committed to that mid side control. However, in Ascent, they're gonna know if you're going into market or into tier, right? Because the sound cue is different. It's much easier to hear because the map is smaller. So I feel like in a sense, there's a lot of possibilities here. You could have a unified approach towards that. Utility side. I feel like this is one of the maps where you can absolutely go for the triple initiator. Also, fade raise combo is available here. You could also go for a frag heavy comp. So I feel like in a sense this is a map where anything goes. It just boils down to what your team wants to play, and that's why Ascent to me showcases just what type of team you have in your hands. It showcases what type of team this particular or rather what type of playstyle this particular team wants to showcase, and so that's exactly what we're gonna see here in the champ select or in the agent select screen. Sorry.
It's I don't know, like you mentioned it, right? There's no linear way to put a meta in Ascent because there's just so many ways to play it. You can be aggressive mid, you can be aggressive A or B main. You can play back and wait for aggressive defenders to push. You can play lurk. There are a lot of ways to play this, and putting a sort of meta on Ascent has never been, I think, possible. We have seen the shift from Sova to Fade most of the time here in Ascent. We have been leaning towards away from the Sova, I mean.
Yeah.
It still
Think you can
kind
keep
of
up?
plays the same role, right? But like double initiators, double duelist work, double controller sometimes work, triple initiators work. As Ice Cold, as we mentioned, gets the fade. Sylvana on that jet, interesting. Fael on the controller on Omen, Solrak on that again the double initiator we see here on KO, and Sang on that chambered
Think you can
Kaz,
keep up?
Onyx on that Killjoy, which is pretty strong, I guess. It's either Killjoy or Chamber here. Hike here on the KO, we see 2 KO. That should be interesting. Near to end almost on a mirror match except for the Sentinels and the Fade and Sova. Tainted Sorrow does get the jet, and again has the agent that's high octane, right?
Mhm.
The agent that can close gaps. If you get canned by a KO knife, a jet can dash you. If you get tagged by a Sova dart or a drone, a jet can dash you, right? So these sort of fast agents are what might set the pace for both teams.
It's all starting here in the pistol round. Crackerjack on the attacking side, Astraluna on the defense this time around. And I gotta say, I do like the composition of Astraluna a little bit more. There you have it, Solrak with the opening pick, the dash in for the backup. Sylvano picks up Tainted Sorrow, and he's looking for more. Cloud Burst pushing up into mid now as the members of Crackerjack actually get scanned, but they do take one out, evening things out. Nye actually putting things into their favor as they look to secure another pistol in the bag here. Onyx, 20 HP as he gets revealed by the trademark, but the swarm grenade gonna permit them off the site here. Sang with an seemingly unsurmountable task here, 1v2, spotted out by the alarm bot. Vulnerable for the moment, but he's getting pushed up from both angles, and Dritch for the 4K. There you have it, the start of the game again, swiped from Alstraluna's hands by Crackerjack. And Dritch with an amazing start. 4K for the Sova.
I think that was their sizing up. You know, in basketball, you just size up your opponent to see what they can do or what they will do. I think that was that round for a Crackerjack. They were like, all right, let's see the bomb here. Let's see what they're gonna do, and let's kill people if they push. So good job on the read. Good job on that patience. That's like, all right, let's size them up. Let's see what kind of pacing they're gonna present to us here in Ascent. And it worked out.
Exactly. Oh, Sylvano pushed up a little bit too far forward.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing the same here for the members of Astraluna. Solrak goes down. And it's looking pretty clean so far for Crackerjack here. It's just one of the things that this sort of classic comp sort of brings to light, right? The double, I guess, flash.
Remaining.
Oh, there you go. Flawless is done and dusted for Cracker Jack. And going back to my point earlier, I did say I like the composition of Astroluna Esports a little bit more, just because I feel like it's a little bit more updated. The only thing I would probably change is maybe a Jet for a Raze, but that's just personal preference. For me,
That's perfect.
Cracker Jack going for the more, I guess, classic of the two comps. They have the Killjoy, and then Sova. As you mentioned, Fade is slowly becoming the priority here in Ascent. But as we both mentioned in the start of the game, it's solely based to preference, right? Depending on how you play, and looking at how Cracker Jack is playing right now, they're playing this comp really well.
Honestly, I would have preferences on when to pick a Raze over a Jet.
Yeah.
And that's when you're attacking first, right? If you're attacking first, you definitely go for the Raze. Raze does have more entering power as Cracker Jack enters A. Raze has more entering power, right? With that showstopper. As Sang does get tainted, Sword Risk gets Sang, Solrak gets too high here,
One
goes
enemy
down.
remaining.
What?
Solrak
No.
gets stretched with the no clip molly, and Ice Cold closes the round, and that will be 2-1, still in favor of Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, a Raze has more entering power, a showstopper, a grenade, an information utility, right? So if you're attacking first and you're picking over and you're going single duelist, you definitely go for a Raze, honestly. If you're good at both, right, and you're attacking first, you go Raze. But if you're defending first, you go Jet, right? A Jet is way more effective being an aggressive defender than a Raze, I would say. Right? You're able to just like peek out of a stupid angle, like maybe A main or B main, and just dash out. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on if you know. Obviously, if you're playing rank, you don't, right? But if you're playing these sort of tournament games, you do know, and maybe it will come at a price should it present itself, since Jet doesn't have much stopping utility, right? Or it's entering as well. You just have that smoke and a dash. If nothing accompanies it, if nothing follows it, it's gonna be a hard time for your team. I'm pretty sure all of you have seen that Jet in your rank games. Smokes and dashes like 10 and then just dies because no one follows. It's to an
Insta-lock
extent
Jet.
it's the same, yeah. The insta-lock Jet. To an extent, it might sound stupid, right? But the fact
It
that no
works.
one's following or taking advantage of that dash is one of the other reasons why it's not working, right? It's not solely on the Jet. As both teams decide to play a slow round.
For our number 3 here, and
Sang
round
does
number
get
4
into
rather.
Sorrow hike here. That's Ice Cold. Onyx gets Sang.
30 seconds left.
Oh, Solrak on the molly. Silvano
Enemy remaining.
will get hike here.
Spike
And here to
down
end,
A.
that will be a 1v3 situation. Rich might have it in him.
Ooh,
Takes down Solrak.
One enemy remaining.
so close.
Almost takes down. Fael closes the round. The great pacing, I would say. They're both not exactly playing each other's like game pace, but again, it's another size up round, right?
Yeah.
That's a good spot.
Cracker Jack though, little bit quicker than I expected there. Not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna take the round a little bit more defaulty, take a little bit more time before they decide to hit any of these sites, just because of the fact that Solrak had the ult up and running, but decided to pull the trigger either way and paid for it, losing all of their guns, dealing a lot of damage in the process though. 4 members getting taken out from Astroluna's side. So that's Sang. Okay, does have the tour de force. Picking out Tainted Sorrows, and round number 5 here is looking pretty dicey despite the guns not being present for Cracker Jack. Thankfully, Silvano making it a little bit more secure for his team. And this is more of the tempo that I was expecting going towards round number 4 here for Cracker Jack. But I guess I like the idea. They decided to be a little bit towards the unpredictable side. Astroluna just mowed them down on the defense earlier in a site. which is precisely where site hit seems to be happening pretty soon. Remember, no smokes available anymore for Crackerjack, but they do have both of their there's initiators. Speaking of what they have, sheriffs, but they're making it work. Sang picks up one. No command is available, so is the orbital strike, or rather the Hunter's Fury, as Spike is about to go down here. Gun is retrieved for High Kier. Suddenly, this is a doable affair here for Crackerjack. 2v3. The post plant seemingly available here. High Kier 1v2 now as he picks one, but Silvano cleans up the round for the 3k. But still, a fair bit of damage done. 3 members going down for Master Luna.
Tricky angle. And that's Jet's strength here in a sense. Any sort of map that has verticality does get to exhibit some cheeky places that Jet can play off of. That one, top of gen, definitely. Ike here did not spot that. That was a good eco round, I think. Again, as you mentioned, 3 people go down. And has that significantly damaged? Yeah, maybe. In a way, they do have 2 people way... 1 person... 2 people! Yeah, 2 people way under the 2k mark. So if Crackerjack does get this round, it might be economic.
What?
Silvano gets free fire on Tainted Sorrow on the attempted entry.
Again, 4v5 now as Plant now coming in. No command really makes it so easy to get into sight. Comes Hunter's Fury pulled up early, but that means the attacker Killjoy is going to be there to buy them so much time. Sang will not be able to secure the kill, but Sorak will be there. And they're just picking up the tempo here. The pre-fires are on point. And Rich doesn't mind the Prowler, but gets a taste of Fail's bullets. 4-2. And this is where it gets a little bit scary here, Chrono, for Crackerjack, because their momentum is completely gone. And Astral Luna seems to have found their rhythm on this defense. Be it on the site holds or the retakes. It feels like Crackerjack, even though they're throwing everything here, Astral Luna has been able to find an enter every time.
I think Astral Luna is just showing us why they picked Ascent, right? That's great pacing. They know when and when to engage. When what to not engage. They have obviously decisive comms on when to do said actions or when not to do said actions. They're like, alright, they're entering the site. I got a pre-fire, the Jet is down. They might not enter the site yet. Let's just go back, let them plant, and let's take this as a team. We are good at that, and we will show them why. And this is our map pick. We will take this 1-1, and if they continue this pace and this continued reads, they would probably be able to bring it. Yeah, to bring it to 1-1.
Oh, fail though. Trying to hold the line. Will finally go down here in B side pushes again for Crackerjack to decide to take a crack at. And so here's a lot of these footsteps coming in from both angles. Does get revealed by the knife. Swings out, Sang gets destroyed. And Silvano good for 1, but that's it. That's all else Saruna finds. Now he's at a huge task at hand. 1v2 to save this round from falling apart.
Blocking sight.
Nobody's looking at his angle right now, but they're playing very conservatively. Dashes in. High Kier swats him out of the sky. And there you have it. Crackerjack back on board, 3-4. And they take it, going back to the roots here, Chrono. Picking up the tempo, playing at their own speed. Take control of sight, take back the round, and suddenly, look at the eco, Astral Luna. Immediately, the bank is broken.
That's wow. I would not expect that, right? But in the game of Valorant, that's very pace changey, very quick like that. It's gonna happen, and it's a very good look for Crackerjack.
Oh, what a shot for Silvano though. With the blade, with the footwork, will get shut down again, but it's looking very, very iffy here for Crackerjack. Tainted Sorrows does not have a weapon, does not have the blades anymore.
Calling my bot.
They do have or they do not have the spike. It's in no man's land right now. And look at this crossfire, or rather this hold from Fail and Ice Cold. It's gonna be really hard to trade with just a classic, so no dash either. And Sorrow's gonna methodically clear out each and every angle they could come from. But here comes that turrets and fail to shut both Aeonix and Tainted Sorrow down. And we swing right back to Astro Luna's favor.
Does anyone have fun?
And remember, that round started off with only Silvano's blades and the sheriffs from the rest of his teammates. And Crackerjack not expecting the push from happening.
I guess that's why one of the reasons why the 50s are so common, even in the higher tiers of play, is just we do things very non-expectedly. Everyone does. Everyone doesn't do things expectedly when they're on eco. So people aren't generally ready for that, as well as that obviously Crackerjack was not ready for that jet push. And that was what honestly opened the round. So great job on Silvano for opening the round, kind of basically securing that eco win. And remember, these guys are not bad people. These guys are on the upper tiers of Valorant skill. So it takes quite a lot to be able to do that and to do that effectively.
Okay, when you say bad people, it kind of has a different notation there, friend. Okay, we know they're not bad people. Players. Okay, let's put it like that.
They're not bad players. Yeah.
Here we go, Tainted Sorrow with a bit of a kerfuffle happening in front of him. Ice Cold with a beautiful spam. Unfortunate there for Aeonix, but nonetheless they get the spike down here in a site. The Nightfall is available for the defensive squad here, Astro Luna, and they're gonna pull the trigger right now. Hike here in the exact same spot he was in the last round. We get taken down this time because of the Nightfall utility usage is on point for Astro Luna, and so is the aim to back it up. 6-3 on the board, Astro Luna. They almost made it flawless, but end of the day, securing the round, getting themselves into 6-3. What can I say? That was just a perfect retake.
I think definitely Astro Luna is showing us why they picked this map. I think Crackerjack has to explore different options than just planting with 5 people still alive. The common theme of why they were losing these past 7 rounds, 6 out of 7 rounds, is because they were planting with so much people still alive for the defenders. Maybe try to get a couple of picks, maybe work from that. Because clearly the retake of Astro Luna has been working.
Oh yeah.
So maybe take a look at the drawing board, go back to the drawing board again, and maybe check as stated Sorrow. Check Solrak's head, definitely not bulletproof. And takes the first pick of the round.
So this time they take things a little bit on the slower side of, which is a little bit unexpected for me, because it's the eco. Typically you see things pan out the other way around, right? People play slow on their gun rounds, play fast on their ecos. But I guess that's just what unexpected is for Crackerjack. The unconventional play for them is to play defaults. However, it is the 5-man stack here in a site where they haven't put a lot of priority towards Tainted Sorrow with a nice little kill right there. Fail holding the line, gets 2 from the get-go, but near to end will be shutting down that Omen. So 3v2, and the guns are there for the last 3 members of Crackerjack. Remember, Sang got the operator, so this might not be a retake they want to attempt, but utility suggests otherwise. Seas comes out, Sang forced to TP away, and I believe that's going to be the save here, unless Sang's going in for the redip. Doesn't have the TP anymore, remember. An operator to boot, one angle to watch out for. Recon Bolt comes out, and Sang gets punished. That's what you get for trying your hand at the retake, and the Thrifty is done and dusted for Crackerjack. Well, they secure the round. No matter how unconventional they do so, they still do. Round is a round is a round is a round is a round.
You know Mythbusters?
Of course, it's my favorite.
Yeah, so do you remember that episode where they tested the validity of double dipping?
Double dipping.
And they found out,
remember
double dipping on dips. Like, you know how they
Oh,
say
as
like
in
you
in
shouldn't
food?
double dip on chips? Yeah, in food. Food, yeah. Dip a chip into the dip. Bite from it. Then... Yeah, I was Sorrow and Silvano. Okay, Satan, Sorrow and Rich.
Wait.
File making it 4v. I'll explain the
later.
context later as as it is a 4v3 situation in favor of Crackerjack.
Oh, Sang
Hold up,
again
does
gets
get high here near the end does get trade.
Last player standing.
1v3,
Doesn't
and
the
it seems
spray.
like Crackerjack have it figured out. As for Luna, the op this time again getting punished early on by Sang just by sheer utility usage. Ice Cold. I would expect he's just gonna try and save the op, but again they challenge it in Astra Luna. At this point, you have to start questioning the decision making.
Last
Should they
round
have
in
been
the half.
challenging these rounds where they have no business of challenging? So I don't know, but do continue with your double dipping story here, Chrono. I don't.
Okay, before we go
remember
into
the
that double dipping story, let's
Yeah.
talk about the reason why they should have saved, at least for the last round. If
Yeah.
you look at their economy right now, they are going to opt for questionable buys for 3 people here. I'm pretty
Yeah, they
sure
have
that
no
Giovanno,
choice.
given the choice, would not be rocking the judge right now. So maybe at least for the last round they should have saved that. But Tainted Sorrow does get Fael on a quick entry into A site.
Blade's not good for
Sang
one
does get
more.
Tainted Sorrow on the trade. Silvano with that judge. I stand corrected. Yeah, probably did opt to get to the judge. Aeonix takes down that ult. Polrak goes down in the middle of heaven.
Essentially a
And
1v3.
yeah, basically double dipping is not bad according to
Last player
Takir.
standing.
Aeonix takes down, finally takes down Polrak. And Ice Skull gets spotted. Aeonix with a 3-piece takes it to a 6-6. Ow.
Switching sides.
Very well played to come back from that. That was 3 rounds in a row. They kind of got their pacing. They recognized, hey, we shouldn't be planting when there's still a ton of people still alive. Maybe let's get a 1 or 2 picks, make sure that the site is at least, clear.
Yeah.
Right? Without imminent threat of a quick retake. So, yeah, they did that. Hey, I'm gonna entry. Hey, let's get picks first. Hey, let's do this. Let's just make sure that that quick re-entry into site would not be a possibility after post-plan. So it worked out. And again, if someone tells you to not double dip, it has been scientifically proven by Mythbusters
To
that
double dip.
it doesn't matter. So double dipping is fine. So I guess in that context, re-dipping by Sang there contextually was okay.
Yeah.
We go into the next half.
I guess. I mean, if it's Mythbusters, right? I mean, if they say it's fine,
Yeah.
I'm gonna believe it. I mean, they made a boat out of duct tape, an airplane out of duct tape, so I basically believe it. Anyway, hold that thought. Astra Luna making magic right in front of our eyes here as they open up the site. UV5 and Haikir is aware of where Sang is gonna come from. It's gonna be a full-on retake here, but it's a unified approach from Crackerjack, each attacking a different angle.
Yeah, Onyx looking for a lurk there, but
That's true.
again, it's very hard to attack Ascent in a
From
split
split,
manner.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, yes, obviously. It's
One
pretty
comes
hard to
out.
attack Ascent if you're coming from
Player
split.
standing.
High here, Silvano. Ice Cold. Ice Cold gets. Well, basically, ALE gets everyone else and
Yeah.
will not have to deal with the diffuser. And ALE just, again, showing us why they picked this map.
Already a different look from the start of the game, right? This is the first pistol, I believe, that Astra Luna have won in this entire series, and definitely showcasing the adaptation that they've made against Cracker Jack, but I feel like it's just not enough yet because the scoreline is still so close. And remember, they are still playing from behind. They're still playing for tournament, or rather for the grand prize at this point. And Zoro's so close, the right click, just not good enough. As he does get taken down, but Shorty is a completely different matter here, near to end. So close up, close and personal! It gets a little bit of damage done, but Fail will not fall this time around. To look to secure this ace side push. Aeonix from up above. Okay, gets a nice little spam on the full rack. Free gun, by the way. Dritch gets a
Free gun, by the way.
piece as well, but it's all down to Aeonix.
Spike
Now,
planted.
unable to find any guns to retrieve,
Turn
but
out.
it is round number 2 after all, just looking for as much damage as he could.
Here.
And they know exactly where
Yeah.
he is going to come from. Now, back... Or
Free
rather,
gun, by the way. That's
Yeah.
a jumping right click.
it's so far
across
as
the
well.
map.
It's so far.
Yeah.
Here.
It was across the map, jumping right click, and it's free. Right? From that range, at that range, it should hit for like 78. So
Headshot.
you get 78 damage from doing that. As Ice Cold
Thank you.
finally gets Aeonix, and we'll bring it 8 to 6. We'll see how the adjustments from Cracker Jack will take place. But free gun, by the way.
still on that, huh? I mean, classic things. And you know what I hate the
Classic.
most about it? When I use it, even if I'm sitting
Doesn't
down,
hit like that.
even if I'm sitting down right smack in front of the enemy, the 3 bullets traces just their hairline.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like there's something with the pros that when they do it, it works. As
Spike down.
Cracker Jack goes for a high octane push and will take down the entirety of Astra
Just like
Luna
that.
in a matter of what, 7 seconds?
Barely
Great
any
read.
utility. Yeah, barely any utility set up by Astraluna there. And the push is
Definitely
already
did
done.
not expect that.
Exactly. Cracker
Definitely
Jack,
did not expect that.
absolute crackers.
The someone in chat asked, how about triple dipping? Well,
Did they do that in Mythbusters?
well, I think they just did double dipping.
Yeah.
But I don't know about triple dipping. Maybe if you like, obviously, if you like purposefully include your saliva in the dip, then it might get ruined. The Tainted Sorrow gets the quick entry as a defender, by the way, on Ashaluna. We'll make it a 5v4 situation, and this is what we mean by playing your pace.
Spike down B.
Exactly. Tainted Sorrow.
Blocking sight.
Up 1. And look at how deep he is in mid. Mono picks up hike here, but still pressing on here. Dritch finds Sang right through the corner. It's 2v4 and Silvano has a massive task at hand. If he wants to find anything out of his position, he does find a good opening pick, but still leaves Ice Cold in a 1v3. Does not have an ult, barely any utility, just one prowler available. Left to his own wits and his Vandal. Picks up 1.
Enemy remaining.
Double angle and he decides swing out at the perfect timing, but Rich with the spray transfer. It cannot get closer. But at the end of the day, Cracker Jack, 8 to 8, they equalize. And their momentum is at an all-time high here, Chrono.
Practice your aim, kids. That's what you can do with aim. Exactly. You know, in any other round, with any other person, I guess, who doesn't play this game religiously or practices their aim, that was a lost round. That was good utility placement from Ice Cold. Actually, that should have been Ice Cold's clutch.
Yeah.
Honestly, in all honesty, that was a great headshot on the first drop. The second one was well read, and then a great utility usage, but just better spray transfer from Rich.
Look at Rich, 20k. Ult available again. And rocking the most kills in the game while having the least deaths. Rich is just
RBKD.
beast this game.
Definitely
But-
will look good in that player profile, huh?
True. True.
that inflation of KD.
Silvano down to 75 HP though. And yet to find anything, will not find anything at all. Wow, what a shot from Solrak though, but I don't know how much that is going to translate to, given the fact that they don't have the spike in their hands. At this point, they're just looking for potential frags and the orbs. The Onyx is ready for that swing. 9-8, almost a flawless here for Cracker Jack, as again, they steal away the advantage from Astro Luna Esports, and they're walking away off of that round with 4 ults to boot.
Dritz just showing him who's boss at this point. That's 2 aim-related kills in the span of 2 rounds. That was
to
a
be
sprint
fair,
transfer and then just like a very nice dry peek into B main, right?
to be fair, Chrono,
It's just confidence.
almost every kill in Valorant is an aim-related.
You want to play?
Oh well, that is
Let's
true.
play.
Let me, yeah. Okay, you know what? You know what? Let me.
Alright, hold that thought though, as
That is
no
true.
command is
That is true.
active here for
Face your fear.
Rack. Rich falls down, and Eonix almost whips that shot against Sang, but secures it nonetheless, securing mid control as well. 4v3. National Luna put themselves in a forward position. This is a round that they have yet to put themselves in the past 4 rounds, but Jack can attempt the retake either way. They have the null command for themselves. Silvano quick to shut down that KO though, and the killjoy for that matter as well. Hidden Sorrow won't be good
Silvano
for any
with great-
shots. And
Great two aim-related kills there.
I'll take that.
I mean, if you put it that way, I mean, yeah, of course. Aim does matter when you're shooting guns and clicking heads, definitely. But you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like...
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's just funny. I know. It's, yeah, but like, come on, dude.
And let me
Like,
ask you
do it
this,
like
though,
that.
Chrono. Since you brought up Mythbusters, and I grew up on Mythbusters, literally, what is your favorite
Uh-huh.
Myth episode? Mythbusters episode?
Oh, damn.
So many, you know?
Honestly, there so
So many
many.
good ones.
I'm just like really interested. I'm just really interested in most of the things that they do, because it's almost never nonsense, right?
Exactly.
Even in Carrie's team, right? Even in the
Yup.
sub team, the myths that they do is so interesting. You find a lot of things out about how the world works just by watching a show that's entertaining, right? That's why I love that show so much.
And
Right?
they always
Even
find a reason
one
to blow
notable
things
one.
up. That's
Yeah.
why-
Yeah, that's true. Right? Like exactly. The one episode that I'm talking about is when they tried disproving that you can only fold a piece of paper 7 times.
7
right? There's a
times.
myth that says that you can only fold the paper
It's
7 times maximum and you won't be able to fold it anymore.
and
They
it's
were able to
crazy.
circumvent that fact.
It's
Yeah?
crazy because the myth sounds so boring. Like piece of paper folded
Right?
7 times, but you know, it's Mythbusters. They,
Well, it's true. Like I tried it myself. I was like, whoa, what? And then they went on to like actually test it as the game apparently started without me knowing. And Silvano takes high here.
oh,
Hidden Sorrow does get Silvano. Solrak on the trades near to end it.
Four.
Hidden Sorrow going down to Solrak and Ice Cold. And that will be a 4v2 situation with Spike and tight open for a plant. And Aeonix will get
Attempted.
Ice Cold.
wow!
Whoa!
How?
Okay.
How did he get 2 kills? Now it's down to 2v2. Sang isn't down mid. The lockdown is gonna clear the site for them, and this is a very, very doable affair here for Cracker Jack. They already made themselves in the position to be in this contest.
Player
Rich
standing.
picks up 1, 5 HP left. Time's off the essence. Smoke is available. Shots connect, but it's not enough. It's anyone's round here. 1 shot is all it takes. And Fail gets destroyed! Rich with another amazing play. 10-9 as he saves the round from falling apart.
Rich, this guy. Check his PC. This is not normally. What Great aim-related kills there. Well played ults, by the way, by both Aeonix and Dritch, as we get a replay on that. Dritch with the 5 HP clutch does not care and will take down Fael on that. Wow, that was great ults, by the way. They did recognize that there might be someone flank. That's why Aeonix looked short a bit, but they both opted to double peek from A main. Dritch did get that early pick with the Hunter's Fury, and that kind of just opened the round for Crackerjack to take it. For Dritch to clutch as a quick Kerfuffle goes down mid. They do find out that there's an op. And yeah, they folded the paper 7 times with using a paper as big as a warehouse. Yeah, they were able to fold it like 8 or 9 times, I
They
think.
folded 11 times, I think. 11 or 12,
Yeah,
something along those lines. I distinctly remember that episode. But
yeah, they use like a paper as big as a warehouse.
I know.
Warehouse
crazy.
floor, yeah. As Sang gets the wall bang on
Wow.
Aeonix, gets info, you'll know that there's at least 2 people in mid. One in catwalk. Like here throws an info dagger, gets 2, and will they double down on A? No, I think they're going for the read that they might rotate as Dritch goes down for the flank.
High key
Toro
here.
does get Silvano.
Flash comes out. Looking for the dip here. He gets swung on by 2 people. Ice cold to take him down. But Tainted Sorrow is not done with the op. He's gonna have to work double time with it. But Sang shuts him down. Hold out the
It's
Dritch
Dritch
once
time.
more. The hero.
It's this time.
Some not
Oh,
ult to boot, but does have every arrow available to him. Aldrone as well. Has a lineup as well. Wow. Cannot get any fans here for this guy, but I don't think he's gonna be able to attempt any further. Because he's gonna
I think
want to
that
save
was a
this
fake
gun.
dart. I think that was a fake timing dart to make sure that they think he's coming from a main.
Uh-oh.
Maybe because it had a bounce and an off angle, right?
Yeah, they spot him out either way, but what was that shot again? Soul Rack getting destroyed.
Gets his soul racked by haha wordplay by Twitch and haha caster by the and that will be a 10-10 round. This is getting, and we have a game on our hands, you know, as Tarek says. 10-10. This is a must-win round for Astro Lunas. They will have to forfeit the 15,000 first place prize if they do not win this game and take this to game 3. But I don't know. This feels like a game where Astro Lunas just really, you know, hey, we're good, and we're gonna show you why. As
One enemy remaining.
Oh, good for 2! Make that
Tainted
4!
Sorrow gets 4. As I said that Astro Luna was gonna show them why they were good at this map. Tainted Sorrow just goes, hey, I am better. Can you like
Look at me!
hold up? You know, let me just get a quick 4-piece with the sheriff there, and let me show you who's boss. You know, and that is 11-10. We didn't even get to talk.
Yeah. I feel like
We
this
were
map...
just like, huh?
2 kills? Oh, I guess there's 4. He gets his round, I guess.
All runs done. Okay.
But as far as rounds go, this is as pivotal as any for Crackerjack. If they secure it, it's already match point. And they've already had a fantastic start to it. 2 kills to their name. Solrak, Ice Cold, Sang. Big task, big order at hand here. So Sensoro gotta hit the shots. Ali does. 1 HP left on Solrak, and he will go down. Ice Cold. Okay, this is a time for Ice Cold to step up to the plate. 2 kills, and we'll be getting the Nightfall. Absolutely needs it in this dire situation. Can't even get the spike down. Everyone's closing down on him. Haikir goes down. There's still 3 people against him. Ice Cold making it look possible. Nightfall is available now, but will not be able to use it because Tainted Sorrow just shuts it down, closes the drapes, and secures match point for Crackerjack.
I think that Astro Luna kind of forgot that Crackerjack is quite an aggressive team in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So dealing with an aggressive team kind of has you, as a team, wait out the first couple of seconds of the round before you push any sort of lane, right? Because they do exactly that. They will take advantage of cheeky flashes and quick pushes just to get a couple. Exactly. Great read. That's a good adjustment on the part of Astra Luna, and they might be able to get this to 11-12, right? Just to
Bring them down.
save the game. It is match point, and that was a great adjustment. Honestly, that itself could have given them the best chance that they could at winning this game.
Not done though for Astra Luna. 4 ults available. That's why they're taking this round very, very slowly. They're waiting for the aggression from Cracker Jack. That's really been a huge difference maker in these rounds. Astra Luna, you could see the amount of prep they put into this Ascent map, but if they get rushed by Cracker Jack, they just crumble. Which is why they're waiting for that to happen now. One command active, no smokes available here. And a Soul Rack goes immediately. Dritch at the perfect spot! Sang will be able to shut him down, but it's damage done here.
30 seconds left.
Has he dealt enough for the
Spike
secure
planted.
Cracker Jack here? David Zoro has the operator, but does have the blades available as well. So it's a 3v5, 3v4 rather. And look at the paranoia, it's perfect, but he can't wing out Sang with a nice spam onto Ionix. And the blades from Tilted Sorrow looking to make some quick work of them. Fail though! Shuts down Haikyr, and near to end, suddenly it's all down to one person. Gotta hit the shots, and he doesn't. Sang buys his team the time that they need. Falls for a bit longer, but it's still match point for Cracker Jack.
Oh, damn. That again, as I mentioned, that waiting time that they left at the start of the round just gave them the best chance of getting back into this game.
Exactly.
And it shows, right? Because the strength of Cracker Jack, I think, if we were to pull up statistics here, I would have to guess that most of the rounds that Cracker Jack started with the pick themselves, they won more than 50% of. I'm pretty sure, right?
want to
If they get the
play?
opening
Let's
pick on a
play.
very fast-paced play, they usually do win the round. I don't have statistics for that. I didn't keep track, but it's more of just numbers advantage and already the immediate sort of mental drain that gets you. Like being down 1 or 2 people at the start of the round, like the first 5 seconds of the round, can already quite drain your mental, right? So just that sort of waiting time from Astra Luna just stopped any sort of advantage that Cracker Jack's trying to get. And we see that working effortlessly last round, right? That was well played on the part of Astra Luna, trying to get this into overtime.
Seem to be doing just that. Look at the guns from Cracker Jack. 3 of their team members do not have those assault rifles. They're looking for the side execute. Silvano dashes in. Dritch with a beautiful recon. Silvano's gonna go down, and that's a free upgrade as well. But it's the mind games. Where are they going to hit? Are they going to commit to this ace site? They finally are, because the plant is there, and here comes the rotate. 4v4.
Spike planted.
Still a couple of ults available, and Ionix picking up. That's a huge pick there. Ice Cold going down means it's going to be so much easier because the Lurk is done and dusted. Hunter's Fury comes out. Dritch is still up, and they still have a couple of smokes to work with. And they have every angle accounted for with Tainted Sorrow close the gates! And he does! There you have it, Cracker Jack. They're going to be the winners of this year's GeForce High Cafe attack.
Wow.
Oh.
Damn. Wow. These guys just leave me speechless. Time. That was great utility usage. Great reads, by the way. They didn't fall for the push in B main. And they were like, hey, they're in A. Let me ult as a killjoy. Watch the flank that might be coming from Catwalk. Let's ult the corner. Dritch ults the corner that they could be possibly hiding at.
And
let's just finish the game.
Exactly.
So congratulations again, Cracker Jack, for winning 15,000 pesos, and also for Astraluna Esports for winning the 7,500 as the runner-up for this set of iCafe tournament. For this tournament. Yeah, for this tournament. So congratulations, guys. Very well deserved wins. Like, damn,
So clean.
words for me. Yeah, like, I got
Yeah.
nothing.
I feel like so much was banking on that lurk as well from Ice Cold, and especially because he had a gun and Aeonix didn't. Remember, Aeonix, I believe, only had a Stinger or a Spectre,
Spectre,
either
I
of the
think.
two,
Yeah.
and Ice Cold going down just was sort of I guess metaphor or simile, whatever to this game
Whatever
when he
language
went
term
down.
that is.
Yeah, Asaluna went down shortly thereafter, and what can I say? Perfect run here for Cracker Jack. I believe they did not lose a single game this entire series, and honestly, Asaluna were their biggest adversaries in this entire 2-week long competition,
Run?
I believe. They were the ones who were constantly stepping up to the plate against Cracker Jack. Credit where credit is due. Massive props to them. They had so much adaptation throughout this entire competition, but at the end of the day, Cracker Jack proved to be too big of a behemoth to deal with. And that's it, actually, folks, for today. Again, Cracker Jack, congratulations for winning the grand prize of 15,000 pesos. Of course, Astraluna Esports will be taking home the first runner-up prize of 7,500 as well. And I believe that's it for our broadcast here today. Again, guys, thanks so much for watching this tournament. GeForce iCafe also would not be possible without our amazing sponsors, Asus ROG, PC Works, NVIDIA, and of course, the Fulcrum Esports Hub. Thank you guys so much for hosting our participants. And of course, thank you for having us as your shoutcasters. Datum here with ChronoSync. And guys, rainy afternoon. Do stay safe. Thanks for watching, and have a nice weekend.